Have you ever wondered why some words linger long after they're spoken, while others vanish like smoke in the wind? Why a single sentence, just one, said with presence and truth, can echo in someone's heart for days? You've probably sent a message, waited for a reply, checked your phone 100 times, and asked yourself, what did I do wrong? But what if it isn't about doing more? What if it's about saying less but meaning it more deeply? In this video, we'll dive into something Marcus Aurelius hinted at centuries ago, that the quality of your words reflects the quality of your soul. You'll learn 3 compliments rooted not in flattery, but in Stoic authenticity, that can make someone remember you for the right reasons. Respect, depth, and calm power. Before we begin, take a breath, and if you want to grow not just in love, but in wisdom, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and stay till the very end, because this could genuinely change the way you connect forever. Now let's build a little context before we reveal those words. Setting the stage, the Stoic heart. Marcus Aurelius was not a dating coach. He was an emperor, a soldier, a philosopher, but his private journal, Meditations, is one of the most intimate love letters ever written to the human spirit. He wrote to remind himself to stay kind when others were cruel, to stay grounded when power tempted his ego, and to see people not as obstacles, but as fellow travelers in the same storm. That is the first Stoic truth of connection. You can't control how they see you, but you can control how purely you see them. Modern attraction often begins with performance. Say this line, wear this thing, play this role, but the Stoic path flips the script. It asks, who are you when no one is watching? Because the way you see the world, that's the same energy people feel when they're near you. So before we talk about words that captivate, we need to talk about presence. Presence is the silence between sentences. It's the confidence to listen fully before you speak. Marcus wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If your thoughts are peaceful, your presence will be magnetic." Story 1, the Emperor and the Messenger. Imagine Rome at dawn. Marcus sits in his tent after battle. A messenger enters, nervous, trembling, expecting punishment for bringing bad news. But Marcus doesn't shout. He looks the man in the eyes and simply says, "You have done your duty. Speak freely." No grand compliment, no flattery, just recognition. Respect, calm. That soldier remembered those words forever, because they made him feel seen, not judged. That's the Stoic foundation of connection. Attention is affection. Before you compliment someone, you must first see them without agenda. Compliment number 1, the strength I see in you. Most compliments focus on appearance. You're beautiful, you're cute. They may feel good, but they fade. Marcus would urge you to see deeper. He'd say, does what you praise lead to virtue or vanity? A Stoic compliment praises character, not cosmetics. Try this instead. I admire how calm you stay when things get messy. There's a strength in you that most people overlook. See how that lands differently? It's not about wanting something from them. It's about witnessing who they are. When you say words like that with sincerity, you speak to the soul, not the ego. And the soul remembers. Because in a world obsessed with looks, being recognized for resilience feels like oxygen. Compliment number 2, the peace you bring. Marcus wrote, "The nearer a man comes to a calm mind, the closer he is to strength." Peace is magnetic. Think of the last time someone truly listened to you. No interruptions, no judgment, just presence. You left that moment lighter, didn't you? When you tell someone, "You have a calming effect on me," you're not flattering, you're confessing gratitude. It says your energy steadies mine. That's intimacy without pretense. In Stoic love, attraction isn't fireworks. It's the quiet warmth of a steady flame. That compliment invites that warmth to grow. And notice something else. You're not claiming them. You're appreciating what exists. It's not "you complete me." It's "you inspire peace within me." That distinction changes everything. Compliment number 3, the way you think. Marcus Aurelius wrote thousands of lines about reason, perception, and choice. He believed the noblest quality in a human being is clarity of thought. So when you tell someone, "I love how you think," you're touching the core of their humanity. It's not a flirt, it's reverence. And reverence breeds remembrance. You might say, "The way you notice details, it makes me see things differently." You have a way of explaining things that just make sense. Those lines awaken pride in the best part of a person, their mind. And when you admire someone's mind, you stand out. Because few people take the time to truly listen. Stoic reflection, the balance of compliments. Marcus warned against both flattery and cynicism. He said, "Don't act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, be good." In love, that means speak your truth now, but keep it pure. Don't withhold praise out of fear, and don't give it out of manipulation. A Stoic compliment is balanced like a sword, sharp with honesty but held with compassion. Story 2, The Artist and the Emperor. There's a story, half legend, half truth, of a sculptor who once presented a statue to Marcus. The emperor examined it quietly, then said, "You've captured the form, but have you captured the soul?" The artist hesitated, unsure what to say. Marcus smiled and added, "Perhaps the soul cannot be carved, only perceived." The sculptor bowed, humbled, because he realized the emperor had just complimented him and taught him in the same breath. That's what Stoic connection feels like. Your words elevate and educate at once. When you master that, people remember you long after the conversation ends. How to deliver these compliments. Words alone are air. Delivery gives them weight. Marcus wrote, "Let your speech be the true picture of your mind." So your tone, your body, your eyes, they must all align. When you say, "There's a strength in you I admire," say it slowly, mean it. Let silence follow like a bow after a gift. When you say, "You bring me peace," don't rush to explain. Let the moment breathe. When you say, "I love the way you think," look at them as if you just discovered something sacred. That pause, that stillness, that stoicism in action. Because you're not performing, you're present, when not to compliment. Here's a paradox. The Stoics believed that restraint can speak louder than praise. Marcus wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. Sometimes saying nothing is the highest compliment. If someone is angry, defensive, or distant, don't force warmth into that space. Hold your ground in calm respect. Your stillness becomes the mirror that reveals their storm. That too is remembered. Because true attraction is not pursuit, it's presence recognized." Modern reflection. Scroll through social media today and you'll see the opposite. Compliments traded like currency, attention bought and sold by algorithmic desire. But Stoicism invites a rebellion. It says, slow down. See the person in front of you as a soul in progress. Praise what is eternal, not what trends. That's why when you use these 3 compliments sincerely, they don't just touch the heart, they honor the spirit, and that's unforgettable. Now let's go deeper, because words may open the door, but your character decides whether someone stays inside. Marcus Aurelius never chased affection. He earned respect by how he lived. He wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That single line could rewrite modern dating. Everyone today is trying to prove their worth. But a Stoic proves nothing, he embodies everything. So when you speak these compliments, they must rise from truth, not from technique. Because words without virtue are noise, but words born from integrity become music. Ask yourself, do I actually live the things I praise? If you tell someone, "I admire your calm," yet you panic at every silence, your compliment rings hollow. But if you've practiced stillness, if you've tamed your impulses through reflection, your tone itself becomes peace, and peace is magnetic. Story 3, The Quiet Dinner. There's an old note in Marcus's Meditations, where he thanks his adoptive father, Antoninus, for teaching him how to dine in silence, to let conversation flow without vanity or show. Picture it, a long Roman table, voices rising, boasting. Antoninus simply listens, nods, smiles slightly. When asked for his opinion, he says, "I value how each of you sees the world." That's all. No dominance, no debate, yet everyone leaves feeling respected. That's the invisible power of authentic praise. It doesn't make you larger. It makes the moment larger. The Stoic way of connection. In every relationship, romantic, friendly, or fleeting, there's a moment of testing. Will you choose ego or empathy? Marcus believed the universe constantly presents choices to reveal the state of our soul. He'd say, when someone does you wrong, think, what is their situation? Now apply that to love. If she withdraws, if he's distant, don't rush to accuse. Pause and wonder, what pain might they carry that I cannot see? That question itself is a compliment. It tells the other person, even in silence, that you see their humanity. And the more you practice that vision, the more you'll find that real attraction isn't excitement. It's recognition. You recognize in another the same flame of striving, and when you speak from that place, your words carry the weight of truth. Why Stoicism works in modern love. We live in an age of reaction. Someone takes hours to reply, and we take seconds to assume rejection. But Marcus wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." That's liberation. Imagine that, no frantic overthinking, no emotional gambling, just presence. When you're steady, people feel safe, and safety is the foundation of attraction, because the heart can only open where it doesn't fear judgment. That's why these three compliments matter. They don't manipulate emotion, they cultivate safety. When you tell someone, "I see strength in you. You bring me peace. I admire how you think." You're saying, "It's safe to be yourself around me." In a world of masks, that's rare and irresistible. Story 4. The Letter That Never Came. There's a small story, anonymous, ancient, of a Roman woman who wrote Marcus seeking advice on heartbreak. Her lover, a soldier, had died in battle. She asked, "How do I live when love has left?" Marcus replied briefly, "Do not try to possess what time has taken. Instead, give thanks for what the soul has received." Those words became her healing prayer. She never met him, yet his compassion carried across miles. That's the essence of Stoic expression. Few words, infinite meaning. When you master brevity born of clarity, your sentences live long after they're spoken. So speak like that. When you compliment, do it as though you're engraving on marble. Slow, intentional, true. Embrace, endure, let's go. Now we come to the mantra that ties it all together. Embrace what is. Endure what hurts. Let's go, move forward with grace. Marcus didn't run from pain. He studied it until it lost its sting. He knew that love can wound and heal with the same hand. To live stoically is not to avoid attachment. It's to attach without fear of loss. When you can tell someone, "I'm grateful for you even if we part," you free both souls from chains. That freedom is what makes people remember you. Not the charm, not the chase, but the peace they felt in your presence. Practical application, a day in your life. Let's imagine tomorrow. You wake up, the sun is soft. You remember, today I will speak only what's worth hearing. At work, someone interrupts you. Instead of reacting, you breathe, smile, and later say, "I admire your passion, you make discussions lively." That's Stoic diplomacy disguised as kindness. In the evening, you meet someone you're drawn to. You notice their patience with a waiter, their laughter unforced. You lean in and say, "You have a peace about you, it's refreshing." They pause, surprised, because no one says that anymore. They smile, not because you flattered them, but because you noticed. That moment plants a seed, and seeds, when watered with authenticity, grow roots that outlast desire. The mirror of self-talk. Marcus warned that we often speak to others better than we speak to ourselves. He'd urge you to turn these compliments inward. Tell yourself, "I have strength in me. I bring peace where I go. I think with clarity." You can't give what you don't possess, so cultivate within the virtues you wish to praise. The more you practice that, the more natural your words become, not rehearsed but revealed. That's why Stoic love is not performance. It's alignment between inner and outer worlds. Story 5. The Woman at the Market. One morning, Marcus passed a vendor shouting angrily at his wife. Marcus stopped, bought bread, and said gently to the man, "You are lucky to have someone worth the effort of patience." The man fell silent. His wife looked at Marcus with gratitude. A simple compliment transformed a quarrel into reflection. That's the hidden magic of virtue in words. They correct without condemning. You can do the same. When your partner struggles, don't correct them with criticism. Guide them with gratitude. Say, "I see how much you care, even when it's hard." That line disarms ego and invites humility. Marcus would call that philanthropia, love for mankind. The Stoic secret to being remembered. People think attraction comes from novelty. Stoicism teaches it comes from consistency. Anyone can impress once. Few can remain steady always. When your words match your actions over time, trust blooms, and trust once felt becomes memory. Years later, someone might forget your face, but they'll remember how safe it felt to talk to you. That's immortality in the Stoic sense. Marcus said, "What we do now echoes in eternity." So make your compliments echo virtue. Modern application, digital Stoicism. Even online, these principles hold. Before you type a comment or send a message, pause, ask, Is this kind? Is this true? Is this necessary? If yes, send it. If not, delete it. Imagine if every conversation online carried Stoic awareness. The world would soften overnight. Because Stoicism isn't silence, it's disciplined speech. And disciplined speech is the rarest form of power today. Closing reflection of part 2. Let's recap softly before we move forward. 3 compliments that embody the Stoic heart. I see strength in you, honors character. You bring me peace, honors presence. I love the way you think, honors reason. Each one transcends desire and touches virtue. Each one is felt, not performed. Each one leaves a calm imprint that time can't erase. And when you live these words, you become what Marcus called a good man in a bad time, or simply a light in the noise. Before we close, I want you to sit with a simple question. What kind of man do you want to be when no one is watching? Because the Stoic path begins there. In silence, in unseen choices, in moments when your words could wound. But you choose to build instead. Every compliment, every act of attention, is a mirror of who you are within. And what makes someone truly unforgettable isn't how perfectly they speak, but how deeply they mean what they say. So when you tell her she's strong, make sure you recognize strength in yourself too. When you tell her she brings you peace, live in a way that invites peace, not drama. When you tell her you admire her mind, be curious enough to keep learning yourself, because attraction without depth fades, but attraction grounded in virtue that burns steady like the Roman flame in the night. Marcus Aurelius never wrote about seduction. He wrote about understanding. He knew that to influence another heart, you must first master your own. He said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength. So much of modern romance is a war of control. Who texts first? Who cares more? Who wins? But the Stoic doesn't play those games. He knows that love is not a battlefield. It's a garden. You can't force a flower to open. You can only nurture the conditions in which it blooms. That's why these 3 compliments matter. They're not lines, they're invitations. Invitations to growth, to respect, to presence. And when said from the heart, they're not just words she hears once. They're echoes she feels when she's alone at night. They replay not because of manipulation, but because they reach the part of her that rarely feels seen. That is how you make someone fantasize about you. Not by stirring desire alone, but by awakening admiration and safety at once. Desire alone fades. Admiration lingers. Safety roots it in trust. Think of this in Stoic terms. When Marcus faced betrayal, illness, or war, he didn't respond with bitterness. He responded with awareness. He wrote, if it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. Simple, clear, eternal. Now imagine if you applied that to love. If it's not kind, you don't say it. If it's not true, you don't promise it. If it's not right, you don't chase it. You'd move differently. Your energy would change, and people would feel it. That's the paradox. When you no longer seek to impress, you become impressive. When you no longer chase validation, you radiate value. Marcus would remind you, the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. In modern dating, the best strategy is to be unlike the noise. You see, the Stoic lover doesn't fall in love blindly. He chooses love consciously. He studies his emotions, understands their source, and then acts, not reacts. That's what gives his words power. That's why when he says, you bring me peace, she feels it. Because peace isn't something he's asking her to provide. It's something he already carries and chooses to share. Let me tell you a modern parable. A man burned by heartbreak swore never to feel again. He buried his tenderness under sarcasm, his hope under pride. Then one day he met someone kind, not flashy, not perfect, but calm. When she spoke, she listened. When she smiled, she meant it. He felt himself soften and it scared him. He told Marcus in a letter, I fear love, for it makes me weak. Marcus replied simply, then love wisely, not weakly. To love wisely is to compliment from discernment, not desperation. To admire without attachment. To speak truth without expectation. That is how the Stoic stays free in love. Free yet connected, passionate yet peaceful. Think of the Roman emperor, surrounded by power and temptation, yet writing every night about humility and restraint. He never saw himself as special. He saw himself as a student of nature. And nature, he said, teaches one thing above all. Everything beautiful is temporary, so cherish it while it lasts. but do not cling when it fades. For love, like seasons, must be renewed through gratitude, not grasping. That's why even your compliments must breathe. Don't repeat them mechanically. Say them when they're true, in the moment they belong. That authenticity, that awareness of timing, is what gives them the power to echo. When a Stoic compliments, he is not seeking reaction. He is practicing virtue. He is giving joy as a gift, not trading it for attention. He says, "I see you," and means it. He says, "You bring me calm," and offers it back. He says, "Your mind inspires me," and shows it by growing himself. This balance, this exchange of energy, is what creates connection deeper than attraction. She will remember you not for your charm, but for your presence. Not for your looks, but for the peace she felt sitting beside you. Because true charisma isn't loud, it's still. Stillness commands attention without asking for it. Marcus embodied that stillness. He ruled an empire yet remained humble. He faced betrayal yet remained kind. He faced death yet remained calm. That is the energy that makes people wonder, who is he? That is what makes people think of you long after you're gone. Now imagine your next conversation. You could talk like everyone else, surface level, routine, or you could elevate the exchange. When she speaks her dreams, listen fully. Then say, "The way you see the world, it's rare." Watch what happens. Her guard drops. Because you didn't compliment her looks or status. You complimented her essence. When she shares something difficult, don't fix it. Say, "You have strength in you." It shows. That single line carries more comfort than 1,000 solutions. And when she's quiet, when the night slows down and words fade, lean softly and say, "I like the peace between us." That's when she'll start imagining you. Not because of fantasy, but because of tranquility. Because in a world of constant noise, you became her stillness. That is the Stoic secret to attraction. Let's look inward again. Every day you're faced with a choice. React or reflect, speak for validation or speak for value. Marcus would say, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." So before seeking admiration, become admirable. Before asking for loyalty, become loyal to your own word. Before praising beauty, learn to recognize it in simplicity. Because the greatest compliment you can ever give another person is your own grounded presence. It says, "You can be yourself with me," and in that lies everything. Now think of the legacy you'll leave. Every person you meet will remember you for one feeling. Did you bring them chaos or calm? Did your words inflame or inspire? Did your compliments flatter or free? Your voice will echo long after you're gone. Make it an echo of grace. Marcus wrote in his final years, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to love, to act." That's all. No strategies, just presence. So when you open your mouth to speak, remember, your words are either noise or nourishment. They either feed the ego or elevate the soul. And when you choose the latter, people will feel it. She will feel it. And long after the words fade, she'll replay the way they made her feel. Not lust, not excitement, but peace. That peace is what she'll fantasize about. Not your appearance, not your voice, but the way her heart slowed down when you spoke. That is the highest form of attraction. And that is what the Stoic path teaches. So let this be your vow. From today onward, you'll speak less but mean more. You'll admire virtue, not vanity. You'll compliment with soul, not strategy. And you'll walk with calm that commands without control. The world doesn't need more charmers. It needs more centered men. Men who listen more than they talk. Men who respect more than they expect. Men who see beauty in patience, strength in restraint, and power in peace. That's you, if you choose it. Now before you go, pause for a second. Take a deep breath. Ask yourself, what kind of energy do I bring when I enter a room? If the answer is peace, then you've already begun the Stoic path. Because the Stoic's true reward is not that people love him. It's that he loves rightly, without fear, without possession, without need to impress. And ironically, that's what makes him unforgettable. If this message resonated with you, if you felt something shift inside, if you realized that love and wisdom aren't opposites, but allies, then stay with us on this journey. Subscribe to the channel, because this path isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about becoming unshakable, learning to love like a philosopher, and to live like a king within your own calm mind. So like this video, Share it with someone who needs this energy today, and watch it again when life tests your patience. Because these words aren't entertainment. They're reminders. Reminders of the man you're capable of being. And when you speak your next compliment, make it a reflection of your peace, not your need. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time, walk with calm, speak with purpose, and love like a Stoic.